Good evening, everybody. So we were going to talk state of the game. As you can see, this picture clearly states the current state of the game. Curse you, Dinkelronsky.
Dinkelberg.
No, it's
Vronsky.
Dinkelberg, but it's Jason Vronsky.
I'm
So curse
like,
you, Dinkelronsky.
Dinkelberg. I don't care. I just always picture. I just will always think. I don't care. I know what you mean by it, but I'm like Dinkelberg. Damn it, Dinkelberg.
Alright. So yeah, none of the state of the game yet. Uh, some people are. Some stores are starting to have issues. My personal store. We have got because we've heard no because other games are moving in, such as Card Fight and Buddy Fight, and we've had no foreseeable information on sets. My store's actually gone down from UFS for every month because we now have three games on Saturday as opposed to just UFS. They've now and no product in the foreseeable future. We are now down to only 2 times a month. I've heard, and this is from Jesse, I think, said this earlier while we were setting up. Stores are dropping UFS. Foreign people are, of course, very irate. I've only seen one person try to defend the lack of a state of the game, and go with peace and nachos. We disagree with you. We love you to death, but go with peace and nachos.
Pizza and nachos.
Yeah, I know Jesse and I are really lucky. We have Millennium, which is a really big store, so they can support a bunch of random games. And since we're still we've grown a little bit, but we're still at most take up 2, maybe 3 tables in a week in a very large store. So they won't get rid of us because there's no sets out like this. But I could definitely imagine with any store that's smaller than ours. That's just as busy. If there's no product coming out, even when the newest set, you can't get product out there. That's a problem.
Yeah, and sets are for other games are coming out just as well. Like Card Fight's picking up again. They just put out their state of the game, and they've got product for the next 6 months lined up, save for one set that is just G-Era Booster 2, which I'm pretty sure is another Dimension Police only booster. I think that's how they're doing them from now on. Buddy Fight, we already got state of the game for them. For the people that play the Japanese meta, Luck and Logic just came out, so that's going to be starting to flood the market. And then there's us. And we got Crickets. We got spoilers. Now, we're not trying to sell Jasco short.
Yeah, they gave us at least some spoilers finally.
The amount of spoilers we got is very comforting and lets us know that we're in the general vicinity of a set release. But, saying if the state of the game comes out and they say spring 2016, that encompasses in between March and June.
Which is, I won't lie, when did Mega Man came out, end of April last year?
Yeah.
Even into May for most people? And then Darkstalkers got dropped on 3 months later, and then we've had nothing
Not
since
even.
then.
It was 2 months later. It was
2 months later,
end of June.
Yeah.
Because I know I got a box for my birthday, so
And then we had N9s, which we were originally told in an interview, hey, it'll be out in the end of November.
We were told 1st November.
Hey, it'll be out a couple weeks after Worlds.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to just see an email, just get an email from from Jasco or updates like, hey, Indians is shipping. Here's how you get it, and then it's gonna be okay, why is this not going to a store? But I don't know.
Now, again, we are very, very aware that Jasco is very busy trying to get the Mega Man board game out of their stockhouse to everybody that kickstarted it or pre-ordered it and whatnot. But this is not the Mega Man board game vlog. This is the UFS vlog. Jasco Games, and we're probably going to get flack for saying this, but Jasco Games has not set its foundation on board games. It's set it on UFS. By that logic, and this is my personal opinion, their number one priority should always be UFS. Anything else needs to come secondary. That's
I mostly agree with that. It just, like, I'm understanding in the fact that they only have, like, 2 to 3 people in the office trying to ship out thousands of copies of that game.
Oh yes, they're incredibly overworked. I will never ever say anything for the individual people that work at Jasco Games because I know they are under a tremendous amount of stress. I talked to the bunch of people. I know Lily's working her butt off to get all those promos out to everybody for their individual stores. I thank her for her wonderful job. She actually sent my store everything from November through February in one package. We couldn't have asked for more. I know Tom's actually sitting there calling me goof and a dork because he doesn't believe Kylo Ren's lightsaber is just cool enough. We've had that discussion today. I have no idea what Nathan's doing, and Jason, I don't know if he's still on birthday mode or still sick. Combination too, but everybody at Jessica Games is working their butt off to get this.
I know Jason is to my understanding, Jason is in Lubbock for the next 2 weeks. They have there's a con that's in Lubbock this weekend. My understanding that they're pushed their Jasco's is doing thing that, and it's one of their cons they did forever for a lot when they were just a retail store. So it's they always like to continue that tradition, just doing it, and then they have the PTC the week after, to my understanding.
So I mean, guys, this is gonna we sound like wow, Nathan. Wrong Nathan. It says Brock. Brock put in something. I'm not attempting to start tournaments where we get a set or two out that I can pitch to people, like Stay the Game, thanks to Jason being sick and not wanting to delegate. Power to anyone else. Nah, it's pretty much saying what we're saying, but yeah, Brock threw his 2 cents in. Look, we harp on Jasco, and that's because on this show I'm going to call a spade every single time. I called a spade when the BS Stay of the Game came out last time, and they told me that point blank they knew that this was going to screw up my PTC. They did it anyways, and then I point out, well, you had a whole month ahead of time, month and 5 days for people to play test if you had done the meta change week after. But we'll sing the praises of Jasco to the end of time every time they do something right. We're always going to call a spade on this show. They do bad, we're going to call them out on. They do good, we're going to go along with them. Trumpets blaring. Either way, we really just need to know something. Right now, we are way past the fact of no news is good news is not the right way to go right now. No news is leading to stores shifting over to other games, lessening game time for us as UFS players, and or just flat out saying, hey, there's no product, there's no info, we're not just carrying it anymore. Would you like to try some Vanguard? Now,
I trust me, I've had more and more people try to offer, like, oh, there's other games we could be playing, and I'm like, I'll just go play a board game for a while. Like that, Matt Giggles and I hanged out on last Sunday, and we played a board game, and you know what? That was fun. Like our PTC, our next PTC is not for another. We got a month still. I have no, and with no new cards coming out in the next month, I don't expect to get prepped for that PTC till like a week before. Like I'm just literally playing decks right now to figure out what I want to play, and I may have found my deck. I don't know.
Level 99's coming out with a lot of board games, and they have a lot.
I can't wait to play Millennium Blades.
Yeah.
What is Millennium Blades?
Millennium Blades is
it's a CCG simulator. There are multiple mini sets in the game. You go to a pre-release, you get your starter deck and your packs. You play in the pre-release, and then you play. You actually simulate playing in the tournament. Then there's a buying, selling, and trading phase, where you buy and sell and trade with the market and other players. And then you do like another tournament or two and more buying and selling phases. And then there's Worlds at the end of the year, where Worlds happens and you can buy and sell at a ridiculous prices towards the end, based on what card's the most hype. There's other ways to do. There's ways to figure out what's worth
And
what not.
you can win the game in literally every aspect of a CCG. You literally become a collector, and you collect a bunch of everything, and you get points based on your collection. You are the market. You literally become the store, the one man store, and you literally control. You can control the market and manipulate it to win, or you could be the grinding tournament player and grind enough points out of the game to win the game. It is
And
the
there's
most ambitious game I've seen, and I've read the rulebook for it, and I can't wait to play it.
it has more cards in its base set than Dominion's base set.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And isn't Exceed getting ready to come out, too?
Yep, it's supposed to be coming out next month. Like, I think it was supposed to come out early March, but it got delayed. And this is the other thing that upset me about Jasco Games, because Jason didn't send them the artwork until mid-January.
Mm.
So it's being printed now, apparently. Then the foil press printing needs to be put onto the foiled cards, which he's working on now, and that's not going to get done until after Chinese New Year.
Okay, so after next Monday.
So, well, it's going to make it so those cards aren't going to come till like April.
Well, when it comes out, write this down for future thing. We'll try and get Brad on and do a review of this.
Oh, I've already talked to him about that.
Oh, okay.
I know. I really have enjoyed, just to sidetrack a bit, really have enjoyed Level 99 lately. And while we didn't get a state of the game from Jasco Games, he came on the end of the month onto all of his Kickstarter pages and his main page and updated every single game, even when they're moving between warehouses. So I am really excited for all their stuff.
All right.
And it's why I want the Indian set more than Mega Man.
Well, Brad is an
I said
awesome dude, and he seems to get everything. He's getting everything squared away and in order.
Yep.
So we will, Brad, if you get a chance to watch this, we will happily sit down with you and review and do a set review of Exceeds if you want us to.
Yep.
Yeah, I got no problem. He was wonderful to chat with.
And we're planning to do. I mean, I want to. I know I'm going to tell Matt right now on the stream. If I'm willing to show up early for the Bowl of Super this weekend, and we can play some more Indies.
All right.
Put some BattleCon.
All right. I'll bring you that.
All right. So let's get on to what. Let's move on to what we want to talk about tonight. Obviously, the post Worlds, I have been trying to just find a new deck. It's led me to play in the past few weeks. I played Earth Ryu Throws. Good, not great. Week before then, I played the Pharaoh Man deck that Ben Schumacher played at Worlds. It's good, just not my flavor. I was going to play Caden 2 Dot this week.
Try my version of Zod.
What?
Try my version of Zod.
I might need to. I'm waiting. I have some cards coming in, so I'll have a set of Pharaoh Waves again, and I will probably be playing it. I don't have any, so.
Oh, that's
but I have a deck that I was going to play Caden this week because I wanted to play. Somebody gave me some idea of playing Brother Figure, which is Curse Blood, more or less. It's react when they play a Foundation as a 4 and kick it from their card pool. It's fun, and then you just play Caden, and you're just trying to control their board. A lot of people locally are playing like just damage pump characters, so trying to control their board and of any benefit is pretty fun. But that deck just doesn't. I didn't like it at all. I built it. I played 5 Goldfish games with it. I'm like, this is terrible. What am I doing myself? Yeah. So I turned to my current deck, and I would like to start off tonight with my deck, if that's cool.
Alrighty. No, that's totally cool.
All right. So I put together. I've been wanting to play a new Darkstalkers character for a while, and I went to the underplayed. No one really showed up anywhere with them for a while. So I'm playing Victor. Now, this deck is very much the traditional fire decks that are going around right now. It just has. I made it a very aggressive with blocks. Improved design is predominantly in it to pick up attacks you check. That card does a lot of work, and I learned that from the Pharaoh Man deck that Shoemaker played at Worlds. It just shows like most of the time you don't play the pump effect. You're just popping it to pick up an attack, just so you can keep going. Thunderous Assault is insane in this deck. You just choose when you get the damage, want to give the damage bonus and wreck somebody. Professor's Loss is the Victor chase card to the deck that I will recommend anybody playing Victor or even a heavy stun deck off these symbols.
Which one again? I'm sorry.
The Professor Lost. The main thing it does is it can set up combo. It can set up combo, and also it's just a flip draw card with damage bonus. You don't have to hit it. You don't have to do anything. You just did you give your stun attack damage bonus draw card? Pretty solid.
I really liked the Professor Lost in God. Which one was it? Was it Elect Man?
Which one?
Oh, not Elect Man. I had another deck I played it in because I liked how it rearranged. It was good for combo. It was one of those weird you needed to. I played it in my fire deck with Beautiful Memories.
Oh no, Magnet Man, because then you can rearrange it so it's high, mid, low, whenever you feel like it.
I wish this card had a 5 check, and then I would be playing it all the time.
I think that's why it has a 4 check on it. I think at 5 this card's too good.
Yeah.
I don't know, like with how for at the time when it came out, at the time, I think it would have been better to push this card than to have another weak, useless card.
I think it's solid in him. Like you're just giving a million things stun, and you have a ways to do it. The big card that Alex Marco gave me for an idea to start playing in this symbol and other symbols is Krutza Bloodline. I played a 2x of it. It's up a little higher, Joe.
Okay.
Yeah. And this card, I actually think is underrated, and I think people should be playing it more. It's a commit speed pump for not itself, so you can burn your face downs, your hidden laughters to it, and it just speeds up your attack. And if they don't block it, especially when you're trying to poke, you're leading with a Flash Lightning in this deck, you're just like, give it speed. Oh, you didn't block my Flash Lightnings. All right, so all my attacks are +1 down for us, Richard. It's pretty solid. So obviously, let's look at Victor because nobody's probably looked at him in a while. First enhances E. Your attack gets +2 stun. Only playable if your attack's printed difficulty is greater than the printed difficulty of the preceding attack in the card pool.
Yeah.
And the cool thing, it's not directly preceding, so it's just the last attack in the card pool. So what you can do is fun things like play a Chasm Buster, and then play 2 attacks, play a Chasm Buster, which most likely might be the highest difficulty. Give it stun 4, and then go not over yet, and then play the Firestorm out of your yard you blocked with last turn. And then you have this gigantic Firestorm coming at their face that gains stun 2, and then you just pump it to death and try to kill your opponent. Like, this is a big fire deck. This is not... You're trying to win on 3 or 4 attacks just slamming in for max damage. And that's why I like it different from like the other fire decks, which are kind of like, okay, you're going to hit for 1 or 2, but you're expending all your resources to get in for all that damage. And this deck really works on trying to not overextend your resources.
Flash Lightning Field Ram with this guy is so good.
Flash Lightning with this whole deck is good, except for 108. That's the only card it doesn't mesh with, but 108 is too good to give up.
Yeah.
Like Flash Lightning and the rest of this deck it's insane. Like Flash Lightning works with Shield Ram, it works with Searing Inferno, Chasm. It's just a lead attack. If you could just get that card to stick, you can lead and just play the rest of your hand and be like, all right, everything's gonna get stunned. Use my Repaying Dex to kick those attacks out of my card pool. Play more. You can just tap their board out.
Right, now why is everybody so hot on this card? Because I know a lot of people are looking at it, especially the newer players, and they're just not getting it.
Flash Lightning? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at its generic stats. It's a 1 difficult 33 check it's a Red Horizon starter for Natali. It's a 0-3 plus 0 low, which is pretty solid. It's a reversal. The idea that if you're playing a deck with only with mids and highs, pretty much if you lead with this, it's -1 diff. It's no progressive, more or less. Its passive is no progressive. Now its E, there was a change in the LGR last year after this card rotated that said cards with this type of effect of like on block effects, they deal damage. If they are half blocked, they still deal their half damage and then their effect goes off. It used to be that if you block this card, it immediately goes to your momentum, no damage is dealt. So like say if they block with a low to your Flash Lightning now, they take 2 damage and it goes to your momentum. So it's like these cards are nuts. The other one's Soul Fist, which I know at some point it's going to see play. Because somebody's going to find a way to make it stupid.
Yeah, like basically between its E and its static, it's a free attack that it's never going to add. And it's never going to add to your card pool in any way. It's just free damage.
Yeah.
So, and especially when you have things like Shield Ram or your Victor, it puts them in the catch-22 of you could just crap on some damage onto this, and either you get free damage through, or they leave it up, and you're still getting your momentum because you hit them. You just don't get it till the end of turn. And now your Shield Rams are turned on.
Yeah.
And if you just definitely need your Shield Rams on, you just don't do that enhance. Like, the reason why I was freaking out a minute ago, just in case people didn't see it, just Flash Lightning Shield Ram alone, those Shield Rams are, after the enhances go through, are 3 high for 7s with stun 3 that clear themselves and draw a card.
Yeah. And the other thing about Victor is his second enhance, which is static E. Your attack gets +1 damage for each foundation your opponent committed during this enhanced step.
Yeah, that's all.
And that counts things that they didn't cost. So outside, if you're launching stun 3, stun 4 at them, it's already +4 damage. And if they're trying to play any defensive cards to be able to attempt to block, you're just racking the damage on.
Yeah.
I really think this card might be, his deck may be really good in the meta right now.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it just seems like a
Shield Ram definitely makes him really good.
And plus he's the 628, like he's one of the fatter 6s right now. And he is semi one-dimensional, but like this deck got a lot of cards. He got like every other fire deck. It got a really good attack lineup gained from all the new stuff, and also Not Over Yet is very underutilized outside of life right now, and this card I think this is the first fire character I've ever like I want to put Not Over Yet in this deck because it wrecks.
Now I got a question. Not Over Yet is actually kind of a hard card to get right now. What would you suggest some of the newer players use over Not Over Yet if they don't have access to it?
If you didn't have access to Not Over Yet, I would probably put in. Let me see here. I'll check really quick for you because I didn't think about that. You're right.
While he's going through that on trying to look up something, my personal response is with how you're trying to use it in this deck, that card is very unique in what it does right now. So I don't think there's a direct replacement that allow you to do the same thing.
Like I would probably, if anything, put in some more protective cards. Like I would maybe put in Killing Dinosaurs. It's just put a foundation in that's just gonna put some damage on the board. You could also, if you really want more low blots, Where the Seas Meet. You just blow it up to give your next check +2, so you can play your bigger attacks. That like it's kind of tough to play. This card's so uniquely designed, you really can't. You can't really like replace it very well. But there's cards that like I would play Where the Seas Meet. Most likely would be my call, just because it's a low block. It fits into that symbols properly. And it can do what it can do.
Alrighty. Do you have anything else on this one?
I don't think so. Unless you got anything, Jesse?
No, I'm very happy with this deck. I think it was something I didn't expect to come up with. Like today, I just wanted to build a new deck, and I just kept getting a brick wall every time. And then I finally was like, let's see what goes on with Victor. Let's see if he comes together. And it looks like he did.
Alrighty. We'll move on. We will jump over to Pharaoh Man. This is not the one that Wagner built. This has been my original version. This is my life version. I made some changes to it.
You told me we couldn't use characters at top.
He changed this. He asked me, and he changed. Like this has been Joe's pet deck.
I don't care. I don't care.
I'm saying this because this is Joe's pet deck. Joe loves Pharaoh Man, and I actually like where this deck has turned into over time. It looks scary at this point.
So I've actually changed quite a bit of things. I was very combo-oriented originally with life. With the reintroduction of Red Horizon, I tried to add stuff in there. Unfortunately, Red Horizon was not very well known for its life cards because life was already an outstanding monster. You do Soul Calibur and Tekken and Shadow Wars, so I actually couldn't add anything. What I did do is I actually did change up the attack lineup to become more stun-oriented and more have better abilities overall.
Mm-hmm.
So while I am continuing my control check hacking, I'm also committing their foundations to make Zod here, which it's very appropriately named. Especially in my meta, they do not want me playing this guy ever. Like, they didn't want me playing Skullman, they really didn't want me playing Pharaoh Man, so that's why I'm still building decks. Good old Zod, so everybody knows what he does by now. Everything during the test gets -1 for their checks. His E, they make a check against 5. If it fails, you get +2 damage. I actually did rework the deck a little. I added in Curse Fate for a free discard for +1 damage and some low blocks. Dream Thief in case you have any draw effects and I don't want them drawing certain things. I believe I added in High School Crush for free, potentially a free card in hand. Then the rest is just the control check hack, keep certain things still pinned down, control check hack.
What does Charismatic Ruler do again? Isn't it just like -2 to a check?
Yes.
They do during that's not playing a card.
Yes, it's pretty much like a Eternal Beauty, but instead of -1/+1, it's just straight -2.
Gotcha.
So my attack lineup changed. Now I'm running Haiho Kyaku, Stun 2, and this becomes absolutely monstrous when you're at Desperation, because then this goes from, this gains multiple 2. With Pharaoh Man, you're stunning 2, you're hacking their check. Hopefully you have some of your better hack pieces out. Then this becomes 15 damage in the card pool.
Mm-hmm.
And gaining vitality. So, great card. Kersplat, that was always in here. That's always going to stay in here. The fact that I can make this 3 high for 6 on the opponent's turn, because if I play it at the right time, they're not going to want to commit to Pharaoh Man, because he's going to brain fart. They're not going to want to commit, so they can attempt to keep going. And then, of course, it's got the next card you play ignores progressive difficulty, so your preceding block's not going to have any additional block modifier. I added in Crawling Strike. Again, it's a stun 1. It's potentially 3 low for 6 with Pharaoh Man. They got to flip something in addition to trying to block. That's just a good card. It's also +1. Ring Boomerang, it has very little it can combo with, I realize, but it's still potentially it's multiple one. It lets me draw a card if I can just play one Ring Boomerang after itself. It's a low block. I can play it after I Pharaoh Wave. Really good abilities overall across the board. Plus, I can change its zone to low, meaning it interacts with Crawling Strike. Pharaoh Wave, I'm only running Gatatua, but that's all I really need in this deck. If I could, I'll bump it up to a 3 of and probably put Pharaoh Ring down, Ring Boomerang down to 3, make this a 3. Pyramid, again, more control for me. Revoke in case they try to do anything I don't want them to do. Other attacks I was actually experimenting with was Rienbu, because this was because of its block ability, so it's 4 mid for 6, a +0 mid block. They can't reversal against me, and they can only block with something that at least shares a symbol with it. And it removes itself from the card pool, let me play another attack. And then Moontrace because it's a throw, and with Pharaoh Man, if they don't block it, it's potentially 6 damage, and my next attack gets +2 speed. So overall, I think this is a better version of Pharaoh Man. Thoughts?
I definitely like. I've always liked Pharaoh Man with Hedonist. The one that I think you're missing, if you're doing the stun plan, at least I don't think I see it here. I forget the name of the card. It's out of Talbane's support. The 1/5 that gives it attack +1 speed and stun 1.
Yes. I could probably drop Frightening Appearance for that.
Yeah, Frightening Appearance is kind of mad. Like, you have built-in damage. Like, +1s are not going to be as much of an advantage. Where instead outside of like you giving +1 speed and +1 stun is
Quick and precise. That's good.
Yeah, quick and precise. Yeah, it just puts people on the end.
So let's see what that does actually.
Quick and precise.
E-commit, your attack gets +1 speed and stun 1.
Yep, no block.
So we add that into Pharaoh Man.
Because that card is so good with Kersplat.
We take that out.
Oh god, yeah. Even her splat especially, it's like and block. Reversal. +3 speed, +3 stun. Good luck. My apologies, I'm minorly distracted. I have the debate, the Democratic debate playing in the background.
That's weird. Oh, yeah.
I gotta feel the burn.
Waiting for which one was going to say that.
So overall, with adding Quick and Precise into the deck, only 15 cards can't block in the deck.
That's pretty good for most decks nowadays.
But it's very, very widespread range. 15 highs, 14 mids, 16 lows.
A lot of low blocks, actually.
Yeah, life can block low for days, but no.
You also are playing Pyramid, too. Like, you could just not die. Like, you could protect yourself all day.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, this is the upgraded Zod. This will be played in the very near future. I hope this is decent for a lot of you guys that are trying to build something.
Mm-hmm.
If all these cards are pretty easy to get a hold of, safe for high-end and Pharaoh Wave, but, you know, guys, try to think of some other good stun attacks.
You know what you should do, Joe?
What's up?
You should keep playing this deck, and then we should all just end up in Atlanta together. You should just play this deck in Atlanta. Go to Atlanta PTC in July.
Well, I plan on it, but I mean that'd mean I'd have to team with the two of you.
No, it's not teams. It's singles. It's a PTC.
We'll see. You got forgetting
because I'm playing. I might be doing Atlanta because I'm skipping Gen Con this year. I'm probably gonna do Atlanta.
I'll say this much. The only thing that would keep me from playing him, since you guys think this is actually pretty decent, would be Yamato Man.
I will lie, Yamato Man's pretty sexy. He'll be out by then. If that set is not released by then, they are.
There's a teams event. We are going to be bringing the League of Nations.
I completely agree with you. It'll be the best time ever.
Oh yeah. All right, so there's Zod, guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. If you want to build a version of this but don't have all the cards, I mean, you can sit down and chat, and I'll be able to look up and give some advice on what you can replace. Most of these are commons and uncommons. Your hardest cards to get are probably going to be Fairwave, Pyramid, and High Kyaku. Everything else is pretty much common and uncommon. And then we will move on. Benny Maru. Benny Maru, as I've said before over the past couple shows, he is now viable. He's viable because we have the promo of the month, Combustion Orb. Sadly, UFS Ultra does not have it in the system right now. It will be getting it later in this weekend. So for right now, Rolling Scratch is going to be Combustion Orb. Combustion Orb is 5 difficulty, 2 check, plus 2 mid block, 2 mid for 8, stun 3, ranged, and desperation.
I don't think it has aspiration.
Yeah.
It has a response, though. In Carpool, response, commit your character to negate a response.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
So, this is a very quick and dirty version of the deck, guys. Because Red Horizon's out, Air got even better, like it needed any more help. I'm not playing every Air Power card. This is just something for locals. Please keep that in mind. That's why you're not seeing like some of the stuff that should be in every Air deck. I just really don't want to put that much play to the point where I play at my fullest and scare people off, because I absolutely hate doing that. But jumping right into it, made for speed, sets up your checks, it's a low block. Girl Like Others, Speed Hack, Spam. Iron Will, because Air doesn't. This version of Air doesn't give a lot of speed pumps. Otaku Hater for either against a mirror match of a stun deck or to give my attack more damage. Built for speed, pop something and give it +1 speed. It's also just a 1/6 with a block. Soul Beads, Free Foundations are good. Hand of a Tyrant goes very well with Benny Maru, letting me continuously restand him to use his commit ability to make checks higher.
Yep.
Shaken Pride in this deck is just really phenomenal now that we have good stun 2 attacks. So that damage just goes way up. Aphidiophobia, because I don't want to take damage. I'm sorry?
You need to protect your ass.
Yeah. Benny Maru is a stick. And the Invincible Dragon, because it lets me keep going a little bit further by readying foundations.
I like that card. Invincible Dragon, it's one of those cards, I like it, but I like it more for its order response than its air. Because its air is situational, but because it's like it has to, the attack has to be completely blocked for you to ready. The order version, though, is like after you completely block an attack, they have to commit to. That card's really good early. That's what I like for it. I just wish.
I totally agree. I just didn't want to put in the other obvious Air 3 difficulty card that comes out of Felicia.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
We got Musabi no Mai, Flying Squirrel Attack.
Flying Squirrel Attack!
Yep. With this is a poke that gets stunned 2. With Shaken Pride, this is 3 high for 5. It's really there just for the stun and the fact that it can be 3 high for 5 poke. Its ability is completely pointless.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other thing I was going to add? You can also just make it straight out 3 high for 5 with the Otaku Hater.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can't, because the Otaku Hater.
Well, here's how Otaku Hater works with Benny Maru.
Yeah.
You put your stun, you lose all of your stun rating becomes 0.
Yeah. Then
and you get +2 damage, and then you can give +1 of the stun rating to make it 1 again. That's what it does. It's just not bad. Like Otaku Raider, I've seen people have it defensively in their deck and win with that card. So it's not bad.
Now, as we said before, Rolling Scratch is Combustion Orb with Benimaru. That makes Combustion Orb stun 4. With Shaken Pride, that makes that attack 2 mid for 12, so either they block, and yeah, they're going to be able to block a 2 speed, but that's why I have Iron Will, so ideally it's going to be 4 mid for 12. And even then, that's very easily blockable in this meta, but, that's going to get a card out of their hand. And if they got to partially block it, they're still taking 6. And if it deals damage in any way, shape, or form, that gives my next check to play a stun attack plus 4, which is always good. Tiger Kick becomes stun 2 and draw a card. Really, really good. Shield Ram becomes stun 2, draw a card, and then pop this card and play another attack.
Mm.
And Raikoken kind of finishes it off. Should you get Combustion Orb off with Benimaru, you only have to play this at a difficulty of 4. If you want to play this on the second attack, Combustion Orb with this, with Benimaru with this, it's already stun 3. You get stun 4 with its Benimaru enhance. Burn them for 4, so that's a total of 12 damage. Again, Shaken Pride, that's a total of 18 damage. And you get to target commit one of your opponent's assets, and they lose a vitality.
I like the idea of playing Raikoken first into the Combustion Orb.
It's like stun 3. It's the giant move they have to fight through.
Yeah.
Like, either they get hit by this, and you get to play a Combustion Orb for free.
Well, it's
Or
actually
they're spending-
a straight up stun 4 in Benimaru because
Yeah.
you play it. You its E, give it +1 to its rating. Use his E, give it +1 to the rating. Stun 4. It's a 5 mid for 8.
That they lose 4 when it hits.
And you can commit an asset.
And Shaken Pride makes it for 12, for a total of
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
another 4 damage. So that's 16 damage total. So you're really looking at 5 mid for 16.
Yeah, so either they commit a lot to block this, and then you're most likely, your Combustion Orb will get the hit for like 8 or so, because they've had to tap out and commit the rest of the resources for blocking this move that's doing like 12 damage without any other effects.
Yeah.
So that's why I like the idea of starting the turn with this card.
No, it's very good. Lamota for +1 speed. Team Japan to make your attacks check easier. I know a lot of people are going to sit there and tell me to run
Templar.
No.
I just don't have the Templars to spare. I've only got 2, and they're in Joe. However, I really do like Dodge because Dodge gets you out of really, really bad situations, and Benimaru is only 20 life.
I would actually not run Templar in this deck. You want this deck to win quickly.
Yes.
You don't want to fill up your hand with actions like that. You just want to draw into attacks as quickly as possible.
Yep.
I'm also don't play air decks, so that could be wrong. I just kind of refuse.
Yep. So, there's Benimaru right now in a nutshell. He's also very good off fire. You get to draw cards off fire. But you get some really, really good stun attacks off of good, like, in a fire deck, the majority of this will be actually kept. We could play, what's it called? We could play Flash Shield or whatever. It was just lightning. Huh?
I can pull up my Fire Benimaru if we want to.
It's Flash. We can play Flash Lightning instead of Flying Squirrel Attack. And Tiger Kick can easily become 108. And the deck is pretty much set for your fire attacks.
Yeah.
And then dodge.
Yeah. It's not finished yet, but if we want to look at the Fire Benimaru I sent you.
Yeah, 1 second.
Well, we can look at the other deck first if you want.
Yeah.
Sebastian.
This is...
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm having some fits.
Is this the draw a million cards version?
Yep.
Marco showed me a list for this. It scared me.
Maybe not. If it's a Marco, this is the one I was playing a little while ago.
Oh no, Marco gave me the new one. There's a new version of Sebastian with the Hell Ripper.
Oh yeah, I was talking to him about that. I haven't
He
tried it
explained me
yet.
how it worked, and I'm just like, oh, so you draw the 20 card, you go through 20 cards to win. Gotcha.
This is um this is my super dangerous crazy deck. That's main. It tries to. I got pushed off a while ago. What it's trying to do is go rolling cutter into one of its big things to go rolling cutter into head crush, and you always get to get that rolling cutter into your momentum face up that way, whether it hits or not, with his response. And that was a lot more important when Gemini Man was still legal.
Yep.
This was supposed to be my kind of counter to Gemini Man deck. I rushed this build and realized there's 6 2-checks in there, which is probably a little bit high. But
Nah.
Between his response and your throws and Finale Rosso's combo enhance, which you can do with like Caustic Buster or something, you can get the momentum for your multiples right away. And him with Balance Fighter is really silly. I've had opening hands going second for him, where I've had like 3 foundations, 3 of whatever foundations, and then like 2 or 3 2 balance fires or something like that. It's like play some foundations, pitch, draw 4 cards now instead of 3, and then just very easily curve out and play 5 foundations on turn 1.
Boo. I mean, it's good. I won't lie. It's good. It's scary.
Yeah, it's just he abuses Balance Fighter, and I built the deck because I wanted to get rolling cutters into my momentum always. I haven't gotten to clean up this deck in a long time. Like, these are all just all the possible attacks I want to put into the deck. I'm probably change things around a little bit, especially with 6 2s.
Now I'm about to run 7-2s in Jeddah.
I also have a holy build that is the super crazy one. It plays every single like 1 and 0 and Hidden Laughter that it can. It just doesn't care about its foundation base. Oh, you're not gonna be able to find it. It's not on there. I deleted it at one point.
Oh, okay.
That would be nice if I kept these decks. I was deleting decks for a while because see that Ringman that's there that has no cards in it? That's a bug that I need to have gotten rid of.
They just cycle them out eventually. Eventually, the page disappears and you'll be able to delete it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Holy Build plays 8 2s with Finale Rossos and Rain Flushes. It just tries to play as many multiples as possible in a turn. Yeah, I haven't gotten to try them since Red Rising came back. Like that's why there's only Into the Sunset and the 1X Outer League are the only old cards in. Because I haven't gotten to try this deck in a long time. But it's just also with it has a couple 1s and 2s with Head Crush to just go get the Kersplat to play that later on and have the Atom of Progressive because you can get a lot of cards in your card pool with its pitch and draw effect. So you can dig really hard. And then Caustic Busters allow you to stack 5s on your deck, top of your deck, when you need that 5 to win.
Matt, I was wrong about the card I was talking about. It's Hell Salvation. That's the combo card he was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The one that's like high attack combo-y, discard your hand, your opponent discards their entire momentum, draw back to your printed hand size.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did that with my Electman deck. Hell Salvation and Professor Lost, so I rearrange it so the combo always works. And then with Electman Speed Pump.
Oh god, so it's like an 8 mid for 6.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, Elect Man.
So it was like any high attack Elect Slam and then anything else and eventually Hell Salvation.
I just realized I handed a Tyrant's legal again, and this man's play is back in the rotation.
Yep.
We may need to have Andrew rebuild him
It's missing its win condition. That's why he hasn't rebuilt it.
because it lost Trib.
Yeah.
There has to be something on those symbols. Like, can't you play like Finale Rosso or something?
No. That's the kind of the problem with Air. Quote problem. Its best multiple is Hurricane Upper. So you need a character that can add a bunch of damage to it. So that's why it's good with like used to be good with Gemini Man or good with Raptor.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay. Yeah. This is pretty much what I was talking about earlier when I switch over. I would just replace the Inazuma kick with 108. Give it stun.
Oh yeah, there's also supposed to be the combustion orbs in there.
Yeah. You could replace the you could actually replace Chasm Buster with combustion orb.
Ooh. Chasm Buster's the best card there.
You're looking a little dangerously with a 20 hand-sized stick figure by sacking 2 life.
Go big or go home. Come on.
That's why you play Combustion Orb.
That's why you YOLO this. I just played BattleCon. I just played a character that you have to pay life to do their abilities every turn. That's why we were able to get over here in time. It's like we played a 10-minute BattleCon game because I was just paying 5 life every turn to get all my effects.
Yeah, but
And I almost won.
how much of your life did you start with?
You have 20 life in that game.
Okay.
Everyone has 20 life in BattleCon.
Oh, okay. No, this is very similar to the exact thing I would build if this was the fire version.
Yeah, I just like fire because you get things like homemade explosives.
Oh yeah.
And with him, you get robot masters with him.
Oh, and that's all we got. Let me think. We got the PC in how many weeks? PTC.
Wait.
One second. I'll pull up the list. We'll do a rundown.
I do these things twice a week. I've got to memorize at this point.
You can run it down then, Matt.
Lubbock, Texas is next week, February 13th through 14th. And then
Thunder Bay
on the 27th to 28th.
Mm-hmm.
And then in March 13th to 14th is the one in Poughkeepsie at the Dragon's Den.
12th and 13th.
12th and 13th. Yeah, that's probably right.
We got in Little Rock on the 19th and 20th. Vegas, April 9th and 10th. Omaha on the 3rd, 1st. And the only other one we have locked down at up to that point is the Vegas 2K. Oh,
Cash monies.
Cash money dollars.
We got to make sure that we're not just giving Garrett
Brett.
giving Brett $1,000.
Oh no. I planned. I told Sean my plan. I'm gonna win. We're gonna build. If everything comes out properly, we're gonna build the deck. I'm gonna win the event. I'm gonna pick it up, walk to the closest casino I can get to, and bet it all on red. And Sean's just gonna look at me the whole time. It's gonna be like, it's gonna be hilarious. Actually, I'll probably only bet half it on red. I want to at least make something out of the weekend.
Bet half on red and half on black. You can't lose.
No, they won't let you do that. It's stupid. It's gonna bet half. We're gonna take $500 just by like red, and then we're gonna leave. And then if I keep winning, I'm gonna take 500 off and just keep it on red until I lose. We're gonna go deep. We're gonna see how much I can double my money theoretically.
So you're bringing like the salvaged remains of Giggles with you.
I want to see. I'm gonna pull it off. I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna keep 500 on red. Let's go. 500 on red. Minimum bet on 24. That's my plan. That's how I'm gonna end my roulette time. See how much I can net that. I want to just max out if I can. I'm like, all right. I'll come back to the room that night to Sean. He's like, Jesse, how was your gambling night? I'm like, I'm good. No worries.
It's like you just lean over to somebody. I can retire.
No. I don't know if there's a hotel in Vegas anymore that will take like the super bet, where like you sell all of your possessions and just like put it all on a color. Oh, the hardcore plan. I should do that. Just sell everything I own, and when I go to Vegas, just be like, all right, I'm putting it all on. I'm just gonna like literally be like, what do you own, Jesse? I'm like, clothes on my back, and just put it all on a color. Like, all right, black or red, Sean, black or red, green.
So he's telling you to bet on the zeros?
You can bet on the zeros. The zeros are, it's ridiculous what the payout is though for double zero. I actually did it once. Last time I played roulette in Niagara Falls, I played for about 6.5 hours, and I was about to be done, and I kept playing the minimum bet. I played $1 roulette, so. But I would always have $1 on double zero the whole time because that paid out. I think it was 150 or something like that to one. So if you won it, you got $150 for every one bet. So then at one point, I took my $5 chip and I put it on there, and I'm like, "Let's go," and I won. And the dealer was like, yeah, good job. Here's $700. Thank you. Easy money.
What do we got next week?
We are going to have a guest next week. We don't know who, but we don't know how many, but we will have a guest next week.
We have 2 sets of guests lined up. It depends on which one is available for the next week after as well.
Yeah. We're going to get it set up. Announcements will be made. Luckily, I'm not skipping the stream for Deadpool next week. I'm being nice. I'm going to go see it Friday. I'm going to skip UFS on Friday next week and go see it.
And in the event we still don't have State of the Game next week, we will be seeing the dad meme again.
Every week.
Every week until we get it. And when it doesn't have, and after 3 weeks, it'll be the dad meme and the grumpy pig meme.
It'll get to a point where if I see that meme too many times, I'll be like, all right, let's go play BattleCon competitively.
Competitive BattleCon?
There's a tournament set up for it, and I want to suggest an idea to Brad that I think will make it.
I think we should just run. I think there's enough people locally. I think we could do it.
Yeah, that's why I looked up all the information for it. I'm having Brian and whatnot come over to test one of the formats.
Because I know like Nate and his friends play, and like they would do it. It'd be great. I just have to find a character I like. There's so many of them.
Well, yeah. What it is you pick 3 for most of the formats. In some way, you pick 3 characters, and you play best 2 out of 3, and you can only use each character 1 round.
Oh.
I
thought they would do Conquer style.
That's another format. They're not using it for this tournament season, but it is a way to play it.
I like that idea better, where it's like if I win, I can't play my deck again. Yeah. I can't play that character again.
Oh.
I have to win with all. You have to win with all 3 though.
There's also UK PTC in March.
Oh, there is?
Yes. We just got turned by Blurred Visionary.
You can't remember things from across the pond.
Well, I advocate very strongly for UFS over there. It helps me support Prettier Joe.
Yeah.
That's true.
Thank you for reminding us.
He's a Pretty Joe.
But we might be gaining him soon, apparently.
Do what?
We might be gaining him into the U.S. He might be ours. There's a theory that he might be moving.
No, let's not spread anything.
Alright, so we have anything else for the night before I ramble on about BattleCon?
No.
All right. You guys have a good night.
All right,
folks.
Night, everybody.